You are in the middle of the Peruvian jungle at 3 in the morning. You have just given the order to burn down the rival mining camp. There are 8 men sleeping inside. Your hitmen spray gasoline around the tents. You light a cigarette and give the signal. The flames rise. You hear the screams. 5 manage to run out into the darkness. 3 do not. The next day, they find the charred bodies among the remains of melted plastic. The police do not investigate. You paid them $50,000 to look the other way. You are 29 years old and control 15 illegal mining operations generating $2 million a month. You also have the blood of 12 people on your hands. But 10 years ago, when you first arrived in the jungle, all you wanted was to escape poverty. You never imagined becoming this. Level 1. Pawn. You are 19 years old and come from an Andean village at 3,800 meters above sea level on the outskirts of Cusco. Your father died in an accident in a legal mine when you were 14. The company paid no compensation because the contract he signed said any accident was a risk assumed by the worker. Your mother cleans houses in the city for $150 a month. You have 3 younger siblings to feed, and you never finished high school because someone had to work. One day a recruiter shows up in your village. He wears new boots, a fake gold watch, and drives a pickup truck no neighbor could afford. He tells the young men that in the jungle they earn $50 a day pulling gold from the river. In 6 months you save $10,000 and come back. Half the village wants to go. You are the first to sign up. The trip lasts 3 days. An 18-hour bus ride to Puerto Maldonado, a 4-hour truck ride down a dirt road that does not appear on any map, a 6-hour boat trip upriver until the phone signal disappears completely. You arrive at a camp in the middle of nowhere. 200 men, black plastic tents, open latrines that stink from 50 meters away, a diesel generator that runs 12 hours a day, and a guy with a shotgun at the entrance who explains the rules without being asked. You work, you get paid, you do not ask questions. Your job is to get into the river with a hose called a chupadora, a machine that sucks up sediment from the riverbed where gold particles hide. You work 12 hours with water up to your chest. 35 degrees Celsius, 95% humidity, mosquitoes devouring your arms. But the worst part is not the work. The worst part is the debt system. They charge you $200 for transportation to the camp. Food costs $15 a day, and a can of tuna that costs $1 in Cusco costs $8 here. Boots, gloves, insect repellent, $80. Security fee, $50 a week. Your real wage is $15 a day. After all the deductions, you are left with nothing. You are in debt from the very first day, and when after 3 weeks you tell the foreman you want to leave, he looks at you and says, "You owe $800. Pay it or stay." You do not have the money. There is no way to get it. You are trapped. In the second month, a coworker is digging in an 8-meter pit with no supports on the walls. The earth caves in. He is buried alive. It takes them 6 hours to dig him out with shovels in their bare hands. By the time they reach his body, he is already dead. They bury him in the jungle without marking the grave. His family in Ayacucho will never know what happened. They will wait for a son who is never coming back. You spend 8 months like this. Until one night, the excavator operator disappears without warning and the boss needs someone who knows how to handle heavy machinery. You learned to drive tractors in your village when you were a child. He tests you. You are good. Level 2, machinery operator. Your new job is to run the excavator that rips out trees and exposes the earth to wash for gold. From the cab, you watch yourself destroy 2 hectares of jungle a week. 30-meter trees that took centuries to grow fall in 40 seconds. Monkeys fleeing through the canopy. Snakes crushed under the tracks. You do not care. At last you are really earning $50 a day. To extract gold from the sediment, they use liquid mercury. They pour it directly onto the dirt with their bare hands. The mercury sticks to the gold and forms a silver ball that they then burn with a blowtorch. The mercury evaporates and pure gold remains. But that vapor does not disappear. You breathe it in. It enters your blood, your kidneys, your brain. Your tent mate starts trembling uncontrollably after 6 months. Mercury poisoning. They send him back with no money and no treatment. Nobody says a word. And then one night you see something you were not supposed to see. You hear a truck arriving at the camp at 2 in the morning. You step out of the tent. The boss is meeting with 4 armed men carrying military rifles, uniforms without insignia. They are unloading boxes and the boss hands them bags. Later you find out the boss pays soldiers from a nearby base $30,000 a month. In exchange, he gets protection, advance warning of any police operation, and equipment seized in raids goes missing from storage and returns to the jungle. The boss saw you spying from the shadows. He calls you into his tent the next day. You think he is going to kill you. Instead, he says, I need someone I can trust to handle the payments, $200 a day. But if you open your mouth, I'll bury you next to the other guy. You accept. You have just entered the inner circle. There is no going back now. Level 3, Foreman. You are 21 years old and now supervise 40 laborers. $200 a day plus whatever you can steal because you record the gold output and shave 20% off before reporting it to the boss. That 20% you keep. An extra $1,500 a week. The boss knows. He does not care as long as you produce. One laborer tries to escape one night. You catch him with 2 other foremen. The boss gives the order, teach him a lesson. They beat him for 20 minutes. They break 3 ribs. Message to the others, nobody leaves. That night you cannot sleep. A week later, you do not even think about it. A warning comes over the radio. Police operation in 48 hours. The military contact tipped you off. Everything has to be evacuated. Excavators, engines, hoses, generators. $200,000 worth of equipment. They work 36 hours without stopping. Hiding machines under tarps deep in the jungle. When the police arrive, they find only empty pits and mud. They leave after 6 hours. The next day, the machines are back in place. The boss rewards you. Level 4, machine owner. He offers you a partnership. You put in the $35,000 you saved over 3 years and buy your own excavator. Now you are an owner. Your profits jump to between $1,000 and $2,000 a day. You hire 15 laborers. You do exactly the same thing to them that was done to you. The debt system, the inflated prices, the trap. You feel no guilt because that is how this works and because someone did it to you first. You pay $5,000 to a municipal official who signs a permit that says reforestation. On paper, you are planting trees. In reality, you are tearing them out. A journalist shows up in the area asking questions. He has a camera and is filming the craters, the gray rivers, the dead fish. He is investigating the water contamination that is making indigenous communities downstream sick. The boss calls you. That guy is a problem. Deal with him. You hire 2 men. You pay them $2,000 each. The journalist disappears. They find his body 3 months later downstream, bloated and unidentified. The case is filed away as an accident. $50,000 to the prosecutor to close the file. That night you look at your hands and realize they are no longer shaking. That scares you more than anything else. Another organization invades your territory. They start mining 2 kilometers from your operation. You send a message, leave or there will be trouble. They reply, come make us. First shootout in the jungle. You're 8 men against their 12. It lasts 20 minutes among the trees, with the jungle swallowing the sound of the gunfire. 3 dead on your side, 5 on theirs. You win the territory, but now you are in open war. This is when you give the order to burn their camp with the men inside. What you saw at the beginning of this video. That is how territorial disputes are settled in illegal mining. There are no lawyers, no judges. There is gasoline and matches. Level 5, gold buyer. At 25, you stop extracting. Now you buy it. From small miners, from other bosses, from rival operations. You pay 30% less than the international price and resell it in Lima to exporting companies that have all the legal permits. Illegal gold gets mixed with legal gold. The exporters melt it down, stamp it with a certificate of origin, and ship it to Switzerland, India, China. It ends up in jewelry stores, in electronic components, in bank vaults that will never ask where it came from because the system is designed so that nobody asks. You control 50 kilometers of river. 8 camps pay you $5,000 a month each just to let them mine in peace. $40,000 a month in protection without touching a shovel. You have 20 armed men with AK-47 rifles bought on the Bolivian border for $800 each. A leader of an indigenous community denounces the river contamination in the media. He goes to the government, talks to NGOs, appears on television. The boss, now you, gives the order. Your hitmen ambush him on a dirt track at 6 in the morning while he was on his way to his farm plot. 9 shots. The government sends investigators. $100,000 to the provincial prosecutor. Case closed as a robbery gone wrong. Level 6. Boss. At 26, you split from the original boss. You pay him $200,000 as a courtesy and go independent. Now you finance 6 complete mining operations. $500,000 in machinery. 180 men working for you. $150,000 profit a month. Drug trafficking groups that use the same river routes offer you a side business. Transport cocaine in your small planes for $50,000 per trip. You accept because by this point, one more crime or one less no longer changes anything in your conscience. Your right-hand man, the guy who has been with you since you were a foreman, your friend of 6 years, steals from you. He runs off with $300,000 in gold. He flees to Brazil. You find him in 3 weeks thanks to a contact in Manaus. They bring him back. They execute him in front of the whole camp on a Friday afternoon. The man you considered your brother, kneeling in the mud, looking you in the eyes before the shot. The message is for the other 180. The gold is mine. All the gold. Always. You have sent $80,000 to your mother in 6 years. She built a 2-story house in Cusco. Your siblings are in college. They think you work in construction in the jungle. They do not know the truth, and you cannot tell them. The government launches the biggest military operation of the decade against illegal mining. 500 soldiers, helicopters, drones. They destroy $5 million worth of machinery. They arrest 40 people. You escape because the warning came 6 hours in advance, but you lose all the equipment. You hide for 3 months in Colombia with false documents while the operation dies down. You spend $800,000 rebuilding the network when you return. Because corruption is always stronger than the law, and the same officials who took money the first time are willing to take it the second time. Level 7. Kingpin. At 29, you are at the top. 15 mining operations, $2 million a month. Small planes, safe houses in 4 cities, 20 hitmen on the payroll, but you cannot deposit anything in banks. Everything is cash hidden in suitcases, in walls, in holes in the jungle. You change location every week. You sleep with a pistol under your pillow. You cannot go to a restaurant without watching who sits behind you. 12 people are dead by your direct orders. 8,000 hectares of jungle destroyed. 3 rivers contaminated with mercury that will take generations to recover. Indigenous communities poisoned. Their children born with deformities that doctors cannot officially explain because no study has been done and nobody benefits from doing one. A rival operation tries to kill you in Puerto Maldonado. Shootout in broad daylight on a commercial street. 6 dead, 2 of them civilians who were shopping in a store. Now you are a national priority. $100,000 reward for information about your whereabouts. The DEA gets involved because of the drug trafficking connection. Coordinated operation between Peru, Colombia, and Brazil. They freeze the accounts of your front companies. They arrest 15 of your operators. They destroy 8 camps. Your bribery network collapses because international pressure is too strong. The politicians you were paying abandon you. The military men you were financing sell you out. One night you are in a safe house in Mazuco when you hear helicopters. You grab a backpack with $500,000 in cash and false documents. You climb out the back window. You cross the border into Bolivia. From there to Brazil. You live hidden in Manaus under a false identity in a small apartment, paying in cash. Your mother thinks you are dead. Your siblings read in the newspapers that you are the most wanted illegal gold kingpin in the Amazon. The 2-story house you built for them is now a shame they cannot explain to the neighbors. You never speak to your family again. You have $3 million hidden in different places that you will probably never be able to spend. You are 29 years old, with the health of a 50-year-old man because of the years of mercury exposure, and the most wanted face in 3 countries. You started out wanting to send $10,000 to your mother so she could stop cleaning other people's houses. You ended up with 12 dead, 8,000 hectares of jungle laid waste, and communities poisoned for generations. And in some jewelry store in Zurich, there is a gold ring with Swiss certification that began as mud and mercury in a river where a 19-year-old boy worked with water up to his chest, dreaming of going home. That ring costs 3,000 euros. It has a seal that says verified ethical origin. And nobody is going to ask questions, because the system is designed so that nobody asks. That was all. Leave me in the comments what other illegal world you want me to expose. See you.